Lounge. Thank you so much for tuning in with us each week. Today's topic is about the 1% beliefs. What does that mean? It's mindset shifts. It's all about you, your goals, and what you want to achieve this year. So I wanted to share our success strategy story session this week. The things that we discussed, the systems, shifts, and structure for you to design your destiny. Number one is about that clear categorization to focus. And we used 4 pillars to look at these things for your goals: body, mind, relationships, and finances. So with your body, strengthening, posture, longevity, what do you need to do? What do you need to shift? What systems do you need to put into place? What structure do you need to create to improve your strength, to improve your posture, to improve your longevity? Mind, literacy, skill set, memory, focus. How can you further develop that this year? Relationships, building that trust, that loyalty, and having that mentorship. Finances, ownership, systems, creation. So what do you own so far? What do you want to own this year? What systems can you put into place so that you've got multiple streams of income? And what can you create this year to boost your finances? Your categories decide your outcomes. Defining your destination and designing your destiny was another topic we covered. Where do you want to be by the end of this year? Write it down. Commit to it. Ground your goal. Give yourself dates. Create that timeline. We do an action plan, accountability, cadence, and timing. Why? Because it grounds your goals. Every decision becomes a lot easier when you have a fixed destination. So that clarity, that momentum comes from keeping those small commitments every day to yourself. Next, we talked about assigning each month a mission. Momentum is disciplined repetition. Momentum is disciplined repetition. So an example, giving each month a mission. In January, we talked about foundations, that structure for the year. February, taking aligned action in that acceleration, increasing your output. March, reflect and reduce. So remove those distractions. April, lifelong learning, learning a new skill. All of those go back to those clear categories with the 4 pillars: body, mind, relationships, finance. And these monthly missions help prevent you from drifting. They help prevent the distractions. And by doing that, you're creating compound progress. Next, we talked about a wealth ledger. Tracking everything, because clarity compounds. Everything you spend, everything that goes out of your business, everything that goes out of your bank account, everything that comes in. So we talked about 4 pillars with our wealth ledger: goals, habits, money, and progress. Goals, what do you want? What do you want to achieve this year? Habits, what does your daily routine look like? The morning routine, the nighttime routine. What are you doing every single day? And what have become habits? Good habits and bad habits. Money, that cash flow. What's going in and what's going out? And then progress, reflecting back. What's gone well? What needs improvement? What can be tweaked? Because a ledger keeps your life measurable. And measurable becomes manageable. Next, we talked about those daily do's. What daily wins elevate everything? Because you have that discipline and it compounds so you reach your desired destination. So for example, those daily do's, maybe 45 minutes of fitness, 30 minutes of learning, might be reading a book, podcasts, 90 minutes of deep work, that power hour, 90 minutes of deep work to work on yourself, work on your goals. You decide, you design your destiny, and your desire to become disciplined and do those daily do's to work towards your goals. Next, we talked about creating that time to reflect. Why? Because reflection means that you avoid repeating the lessons again and again. So looking at your weekly wins and looking at the weekly lessons, what could have gone better? What could you do differently next week? Then a monthly overview. Did you work out every day? What workouts did you do? Were they good? Were they worth it? Have you noticed an improvement? What is your money? What's been going in and out of your bank account? Have you overspent? Have you underspent? Can you reinvest some money? What does that look like? And what habits? What habits have gone well? What habits do you need to create? What habits do you need to get rid of? Because what's done gets recorded. And when you're recording it, it's achieved. That's all about accountability and holding yourself accountable in that action plan. Accountability, cadence, timing, action plan, act. And then looking at yourself and reflecting on yourself, hiding that noise, focus, and having those time blocks to work on what really needs to get done. What are your priorities? What do you need to achieve? What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? Awareness is a wealth asset. So by being aware of all of those aspects, it really helps that momentum and move your goals forward. Commitment. Daily execution elevates your effectiveness because it removes a distraction. Even if you're not always motivated, it's that commitment to yourself, commitment to your community, commitment to your team, commitment to your business, those 1% beliefs. And creating the conditions so that you're in the environment to achieve, to have that deep work, do that power hour. Close the door. Limit the inputs. Turn the notifications off on your phone. Turn those emails off. Put that time on your calendar and show up. Show up at the same time every day. Have your little routines that you need to do, your power hour, your fitness, your learning, so that you're moving the needle forward. You're creating that momentum. And that cadence builds identity, that consistency, that commitment. And that identity builds outcomes. And it boosts your confidence because you're achieving, you're doing. So commitment is locking in those ordinary daily do's to create extraordinary outcomes throughout the year. It's little things. We always talk about that 1% beliefs, moving the needle 1% forward, and building those strong foundations. It's not about a fast fix. It's the long game with success. Whether it's skincare, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, it's all the long game. It's the consistency, the outcomes in your health. It's doing little things daily, what you're nourishing your body with, making sure that you're exercising. Wealth, it's investing regularly. It's saving, it's putting money back into your business. Investing into the long term to create that generational wealth for your children and your children's children. And skincare. Making sure you're looking after yourself every day. That's how you get that glow getter. That's how you maintain glowing, radiant skin. It's not because you washed your face once. It's because you do everything daily and they're small little steps. It's not about speed. It's about systems, about commitment. Those strong foundations, doing those little things every day. People might see the trophies, they might see the success, but they don't see the trenches. They don't see all those little daily do's, all those things that you do consistently when nobody else is watching, that consistency, that cadence in your life, in your daily routines. Because the quiet work, when it's repeated, it has compound effects. Sharpening your skills, assets, they're earning you money. Your content starts to scale. Habits, they start to run on autopilot. Think of when you're a baby, you had to learn to walk. Now you can walk, you don't even have to think about it. Same with driving a car, riding a bike, whatever it is. All of those things is because you're working on the skill set, those actions daily, regularly. So it becomes second nature, like habits. Patience. Patience is huge because it's all of these little things that lead to long-term success. The intentionality. So those identity shifts, the strategic systems you're putting into place, the structure for you to design your destiny. So I hope you got some great takeaways from our share of this week's success strategy session. If you'd like to book your own in, please check out our website, theglowgettermentor.co.uk. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye.